Thought you'd seen all the hidden gems in the zombie genre? Think again. In this second part of Top 10 Hidden Zombie Gems you haven't seen yet, we're diving even deeper into the dark and underrated films that every zombie fan needs to see. Get ready for more surprises.
Diego.
Number 10. Yummy. Yummy is a film that pulls you into a nightmare you don't even want to dream about. The story is set in an abandoned hospital where plastic surgery is performed. It's a place that at first glance seems to be an escape for those who want to improve their beauty, but it quickly turns out to be a trap with no way out. Instead of the changes they dream of, patients become victims of chilling experiments that turn them into bloodthirsty monsters. When one of the film's protagonists accidentally releases a mutated patient, a spiral of violence, brutality, and desperation begins. What we see on the screen is a veritable slaughterhouse, full of grotesque scenes that will keep you awake for a long time. If you like movies that give you chills, make you nauseous, and make you wonder what really lurks in the shadows, this is the movie for you. Number 9. Contracted Phase 2. Contracted Phase 2 Inches is a horror film that draws you into the world of a terrifying epidemic. It is a continuation of the dark nightmare that begins in the first part, where a young woman, Samantha, is infected with a strange disease after a one-night adventure. In the second phase, we see the plague spreading, and the main character, Riley, tries not only to survive, but also to find a way to stop this horror. Each day is a struggle against the progressive decay of body and mind. The disease takes over, transforming victims into something that is more dead than alive, yet still incredibly dangerous. Riley desperately searches for answers while his body rots, and fear and paranoia begin to eat him from the inside out. Number 8. Infection. Infection is a terrifying story about a group of people who face an unknown deadly virus. The action takes place in a closed facility where the characters have to face a growing threat. The virus causes not only physical suffering, but also triggers panic reactions and violent conflicts among the survivors. The picture shows not only the brutal effects of the infection, but also human hopelessness and fear in the face of impending doom. This is a proposal for an intense thriller that combines elements of horror with psychological tensions through what could be an interesting proposition. Number 7. Exit Humanity. The film Exit Humanity is a terrifying thriller that introduces the viewer to a dark, post-apocalyptic world where humanity is struggling to cope with disaster. The film is set in the time after the Great Plague, which transformed people into bloodthirsty zombies. It tells the story of a survivor who embarks on a perilous journey through a destroyed world, trying to find rescue and understand the meaning of his existence in the face of all-pervasive horror. Exit Humanity is worth watching if you are a fan of apocalypse and zombie movies. Its dark atmosphere, brutal scenes, and deep melancholy create an intense experience that can give you chills. Number 6. Devil's Playground. Devil's Playground is a dark and terrifying horror film that takes the viewer into the middle of a hellish apocalypse, where every step could be the last. The plot begins with a tragic pharmaceutical experiment, which was supposed to be the hope of creating the perfect drug to improve people's physical condition. However, something went horribly wrong, and the people who took the new drug turn into savage, bloodthirsty beasts. The world as we know it is falling apart as humans transform into fast-moving, unstoppable monsters whose sole purpose is to brutally hunt humans. Number 5. The End. The film In un giorno la fine is a dark thriller that takes the viewer into a reality devastated by a disaster. It tells the story of a group of survivors of an apocalyptic event, but with each passing moment they discover that the danger did not end with the disaster. As they try to survive, they must face their own demons and the unknown threats that lurk in the shadows. The film builds tension and fear, showing how easily the line between human morality and brutal survival can blur. If you like intense emotions and dark, claustrophobic atmospheres, this film may be of interest to you. However, it is quite heavy and scary, so be prepared for strong impressions. Number 4. The ReZort. The film combines post-apocalyptic elements with thriller and horror, offering suspense and a dark atmosphere. If you like intense sensations and engaging plot and are not afraid of dark visions of the future, The ReZort may be worth a watch. The plot takes us to a dark world where vacations can become your worst nightmare. The action takes place in a futuristic resort where tourists can hunt zombies in safe conditions without risking their lives. However, when the security system malfunctions, the dead creatures begin to multiply and get out of control. The resort turns into a bloody trap, and the survivors must confront the terrifying beasts and fight for survival. Number 3, State of Emergency. The next offering is a dark horror film that transports the viewer to a world gripped by a terrifying catastrophe. In a small, peaceful town, a mysterious explosion occurs in a chemical laboratory with deadly consequences. Ordinary people, residents of this sleepy place, begin to turn into bloodthirsty, unstoppable monsters who want the flesh of their former friends and neighbors at all costs. The film focuses on the struggle for survival of a few survivors who locked themselves in one of the abandoned buildings, trying to escape imminent death at the hands of the infected. However, their greatest enemy turns out to be not only the growing threat outside, but also the fear, paranoia, and despair that creeps into their minds. It becomes increasingly difficult to distinguish friend from foe, and the tension grows with each passing minute. If you're looking for a film that will draw you into a claustrophobic, anxiety-ridden world where every sound and every shadow can mean death, it's definitely worth watching. Number 2, The Night Eats the World. The Night Eats the World transports us to a ruined Paris overrun by zombies. Imagine waking up after a night full of fun, only to discover that the world you knew no longer exists. The main character, Sam, finds himself trapped in a deserted building, surrounded by soulless creatures that know no mercy. But it's not just the zombies that are terrifying. It's the isolation, the quiet emptiness of the city that is slowly eating Sam from the inside out. Every rustle in the dark corridors, every crackle in the empty streets becomes a source of paralyzing fear. You don't know if the monsters are closer than you think, or if it's your own thoughts that begin to haunt you. This is a film that slowly but effectively pulls you into a spiral of desperation and madness. It is a story not only about survival in a world of zombies, but also about the struggle against loneliness and loss of humanity. The Night Eats the World is a film that leaves a lasting mark on the mind, scaring you not only with its imagery, but also with a deep, all-encompassing sense of hopelessness. Number 1, What We Become. Next up is a Norwegian thriller that tells the story of a group of people trapped in an isolated village during an epidemic whose true nature remains a mystery. The film depicts the terrifying effects of the quarantine as the characters discover that the virus not only threatens their health, but also unleashes the darkest instincts in people. With its dark atmosphere, intense suspense, and disturbing plot, the film effectively builds feelings of uncertainty and fear. If you are interested in stories about people in extreme situations and have a taste for intense psychological horror, Sorgenfri is definitely worth a watch. Thanks for watching part 2 of our zombie movie list. I hope you found something new for your next horror night. Share your favorite zombie films in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on more great content. See you next time.